When Michael Hayes walked into the corner cafe that rainy Tuesday morning, he wasn't looking for miracles. He just wanted coffee, and maybe a moment to breathe. Life had been an uphill climb since his wife passed away 3 years earlier. Now, at 41, he was raising his 12-year-old daughter, Emma, on his own, balancing 2 jobs, unpaid bills, and the constant ache of missing someone who could never come back. Emma was his light. Bright, curious, and a little old-souled for her age, she carried herself like she'd been here before. And she had one peculiar gift: she spoke 7 languages: English, Spanish, French, Mandarin, Italian, Arabic, and Japanese. She hadn't learned them in some expensive private school. No, she had learned them from people. Neighbors, library volunteers, immigrants at the local park who were happy to teach a kind little girl words from home. Michael used to worry about how she'd fit in, but now he realized she could fit in anywhere. That morning, as rain streaked the cafe windows, Michael noticed a tall man at the far corner table. Suit, expensive watch, phone pressed to his ear. He spoke with a voice tight with frustration. A woman across from him, equally well-dressed, kept shaking her head. Michael tried not to eavesdrop, but then he caught it. "If we lose this contract, it's over. $50 million gone, all because we can't communicate." The man hung up, his hands in his hair. The woman muttered something in rapid Mandarin, then sighed. Michael didn't understand, but Emma, she froze mid-sip of her hot chocolate. "Dad," she whispered, "she's saying their partner in Beijing thinks they're backing out of the deal because no one's explaining things right." Michael blinked. "How do you?" But before he could stop her, Emma slid off her chair and walked over. "Excuse me," she said softly. Both heads turned. "I couldn't help overhearing. I can translate if you'd like." The woman raised an eyebrow. "You speak Mandarin?" Emma smiled. "Yes, ma'am. And English. And a few others." The man looked skeptical, but desperate. "All right, kid. Give it a shot." Emma sat between them, and within seconds, the tension began to melt. She spoke to the woman in smooth, confident Mandarin, then relayed the meaning in perfect English to the man. She clarified the terms, soothed misunderstandings, and even caught a mistranslation that would have derailed the whole deal. At one point, the woman laughed for the first time that morning. "Your daughter," she told Michael, "is extraordinary." 40 minutes later, the CEO, whose name Michael now knew was James Bennett, closed his laptop with a grin. "Deal saved," he said, standing and offering his hand. Then he turned to Emma. "You just protected a $50 million partnership. How can I possibly thank you?" Emma shrugged shyly. "Maybe, hire more people who speak different languages? That way, everyone understands each other." James chuckled, but there was something thoughtful in his eyes. "I think I will." He reached into his briefcase and handed Michael his card. "Call me. I want to do something for your family." Michael started to refuse, pride, habit, but James held up a hand. "You taught her kindness. You gave her the space to grow into someone who sees the world differently. That's worth more than any contract I'll ever sign." A week later, Michael got a call. James offered him a job at his company's communications department, double his current salary, full benefits, and flexible hours so he could be with Emma. He also started a company initiative to recruit bilingual and multilingual talent, inspired by a 12-year-old girl who believed words could build bridges instead of walls. Years later, when Emma graduated college with honors in linguistics, James was there in the front row, clapping the loudest. And Michael, holding back tears, realized something. Sometimes the smallest voice in the room carries the greatest power. It wasn't the $50 million that mattered most that day in the cafe. It was a reminder that kindness, curiosity, and a willingness to connect can change the course of someone's life, maybe even the world.